One of the hardest people for us to get to know is ourselves, and for good reason. Most of us are afraid that when we dig really deep down, we're actually gonna bring something up that we don't want to deal with. But what if you dig deep and you actually discover that you are a completely different person than you thought you were? What if you're stronger, smarter, and a hell of a lot more capable than you ever imagined? Letitia Ahrens with LetitiaAhrens.com here, and today we're going to talk about the stranger that lives inside you and why it's important for you to get to know that person. Most of us like to think that we're pretty self-aware, but to what degree? We know very generally what our favorite color is and what foods we like, but what about the deep stuff? The stuff that makes you face your own demons, the stuff that whips you into reality. What about the stuff that's so powerful it actually drives you to make major life-altering decisions? I want to talk about that stuff. It doesn't matter what the topic is, whether it's losing weight, beating addiction, changing jobs, working on your relationship. You must first have the self-awareness required to take that first step in changing your habits. Imagine trying to beat an addiction when you aren't even sure what drives you to do it. How can you ever expect to be genuinely happy when you don't even know what a good day looks like for you? And how do you expect your partner to treat you right when you don't even know what your own love language is? Building self-awareness is the first step in taking back the control over your life and creating the life that you really freaking want. For example, a year ago, if you asked me what I like to do for fun, I probably would have just said kayaking, but only because I didn't really know what else to say, and that sounded like a pretty good answer, I thought. Also, I honestly just didn't really know how to answer the question, and I feel like that's a pretty common experience among most of us. When we're asked about ourselves or required to brag about ourselves, most of us find it very difficult. And you know why? Because we don't know ourselves well enough to answer those questions honestly. Today, I would tell you that I love to dance. I'm really good at drawing Disney cartoons. I love to cook. I love to spend quality time with the people that matter most to me. I take any chance I can get to jam out to a freaking Britney Spears song. And that is just the short list. But on a deeper level, I know that when I watch too much TV and remain inactive, my depression and anxiety hit an all-time high. But when I was little, my house was literally always being broken into while my parent was locked in their room doing drugs, which meant that I was always the first person at risk. That scared me so much that I would turn the TV on because I was literally terrified of the silence because it always sounded like someone was breaking in. Now I hold that habit and I'm trying really hard to break it. When it comes to my relationship, I'm really stubborn because I've never had someone love me as much as my husband does. So I'm not really sure what to do with it sometimes. I hate doing the dishes because it was a punishment when I was a kid, and that has now created horrible habits for me as an adult. I also have major anxiety over somebody thinking of me as just a dumb blonde because I hold so much of my own self-worth in other people seeing me as a leader, as responsible, and as somebody that they can look up to. I've always been the girl who's gotten straight A's because school was my safe haven when I was being pushed from foster home to foster home as a kid. And this is where it gets really deep and a little uncomfortable for me. But I know I'm not the only one who struggles with it, so here it goes. I was sexually abused upwards of 3 times by 3 different grown-ass men before I was even 4 years old. That heavily affects my sex life as an adult and how I view my own body, which fucking sucks if I'm just being honest with you. Although I don't always want to deal with these heavier feelings, I know that I have to in order for my life to move forward, for me to create the life that I dream of. I don't want my house to be a disaster all the time. I want to know that I can rely on myself to get the damn dishes done. I want to know that I'm strong enough to not always give in to watching TV because I have shit to get done that will move my life forward, like building a business and connecting with the people that I love. I want to have a great sex life with my husband and not be constantly in fear of rape to the point that I don't even like to get naked when I'm changing, even when I'm by myself. This is the shit that I need to deal with and become self-aware about so that I can fucking handle it and move on. Because I am way too smart to be the only thing that's standing in my way from moving onward and upward. Self-awareness is so much more than the surface level stuff, and if you want to make real waves in this lifetime, then it's damn time for you to know what the stranger inside you is all about. It's only when you get to know that person that you're going to be able to reach your full potential. And I can tell you right now that I never thought I would be starting my own business because I always thought that I just was not dedicated enough. And I never ever thought that I would be the person that woke up at 5 a.m. because I thought that I wasn't a morning person. Since I've taken the leap of faith into getting to know myself a little bit better, what I've found is that I am none of the things that I used to tell myself that held me back. I discovered that I actually am a morning person because I have way more drive to get things done in the morning than I do at night. I've also discovered so many talents that I never even thought I had simply because I tried new things. And because I've really dug deep into my own thoughts, I've come to learn that it's my own negative self-talk that was dragging me into depression. Not because I was worthless, but because I thought that I was worthless. Looking at life through a new lens gives you your fucking power back, and doesn't that sound a hell of a lot better than being stuck all the time? There are a lot of ways to develop more self-awareness, but I would say that there are 3 crucial ways. 1, you have to think about an area in your life that you want to level up in. Something that frustrates you, something you want to achieve, something you want to change. Either write it down or keep it fresh in your mind. But really, I would recommend writing it down because seriously, magic really starts to freaking happen when you write these things down. 2, start paying attention to what it is that's holding you back. What triggers you? What causes you to shut down? What motivates you? And 3, you need to take action. Replace negative thoughts with less negative thoughts, and then eventually positive ones if you're trying to cut out all of the negative self-talk, just for example. Note that this won't always be perfect, but practice makes progress, and that's really all you're aiming for here. We will never be perfect, and we'll always have to struggle a little, but isn't it scarier to stay stuck right where you are than to just take that chance to discover the incredible person that's hiding within? Everyone will come to this in their own time frame, but trust me when I tell you that getting to know myself has been such a freeing experience. Learning to let other people's negativity roll off of you, not getting bogged down in depressive thoughts, figuring out what you really want to do with your life, that's priceless. That's freedom. If you liked today's video, please help me share it, and if you're new to this channel or blog, make sure that you subscribe to hear more weekly content on how to change your mindset and why doing so is the first massive stepping stone in taking back control in your life to make the necessary lifestyle habits that will launch you forward. You can't expect to change your lifestyle if you don't first change your mindset. Have a fantastic Monday night, you guys.